Good morning, guys. This is Dane and Cindy from Midlife Travel Tales. We haven't done one of these sit-downs for a while.
For a long time.
Yeah, so we always feel uncomfortable like this because we're used to wandering around and filming each other. So, but today's video is
15 things we wish we knew before coming to Thailand.
Yeah, so hopefully this is a really helpful video for those of you wanting to come to Thailand or travel or just get around Thailand for a short term or long term.
All right, so the first thing you need to know is ATM fees. So in Thailand, you're going to pay ATM fees when you go and draw cash. And it's normally 220 baht, which is quite a bit, actually.
If you're a guy like me, you just stick your card in and you just take the money and you don't care.
He doesn't deal with any of the finances because he doesn't care.
But she follows it. She knows when we get a refund, everything. So
I always do the research on ATMs before I go to a country so I can see what the charges are. So the trick is to actually draw out the maximum amount you can from that ATM. Then you're only paying an ATM fee once off.
And what's the best bank? That's not really.
In Thailand, normally, the best bank is according to how much you can draw. So I think normally if you find the purple colored bank,
or the yellow one's pretty good.
Or the yellow, you can draw 30,000 baht.
Yeah, so they give you the maximum. So the purple or the yellow is generally the best ATM. Krungsri or something like that. And number 2 of what we've learned is
taxis. So there's various options. You can use Bolt, Grab, and a new one which we found in Chiang Mai was Maxim, which we'd never even heard of.
Yeah, so in Chiang Mai, it is literally half the price sometimes of a Grab or a Bolt. So Maxim, if you're going to Chiang Mai, download Maxim.
It might be elsewhere as well.
But that's where we found Maxim worked the best.
Yeah, it worked very well.
Some areas you go to, there's only one kind of taxi running, and that. So, but definitely in Chiang Mai, that Maxim was the best.
Okay, number 3 is alcohol purchases. So there's various times that you can and can't buy alcohol from the shops. In the restaurants, it's fine. I think you can have alcohol if you're in a restaurant. You can order anytime.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So in Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai and that, definitely if you're going there, you can only buy alcohol at certain times. But on some of the islands, there's no rules.
Yeah.
You can buy alcohol anytime. But more on the mainland.
And generally it's it is between 2 and 5 in the afternoons. You can't buy alcohol.
Yeah, between 2 and 5. So I think it was from 11 till 2 that you can, and then from 5 onwards you can as well.
Yeah.
That's just a little tip.
Yeah. All right, number 4 is transport. Now, transport in Thailand is so cheap and easy to book. You can book everything online. It's not a problem.
So just this one thing, Thailand is transport and tourist friendly.
Very.
So have no
places.
fear. Do not fear coming to Thailand because you can get anywhere.
Yeah, we battled in Malaysia. That was a difficult.
Yeah,
place.
Malaysia is different.
What I also found is to book your train tickets on the official Thailand Railways website. I think we'll put the link in the description below.
Yeah, because some of the other websites are a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
So when you go to the traditional tourist websites, they can be a lot more expensive than just the basic website.
Yeah. So if you go onto the dticket.railway website for Thailand, you have to register first, and then you can book all your tickets on there. And I found it when I booked it, it was definitely cheaper going there.
So what we'll do, we'll put the link in the description below. So just in the description below, press the link.
That's it. Also, we used Bookaway a lot. Bookaway, funny enough, when we used to go Asia, or 12 Go Asia, whatever it's
a lot
called,
of times it was full.
Yeah, a lot of times it said there was no transport available. Then I went on to Bookaway, and we were able to get seats. So the trick is to always compare the different sites for prices and for seat availability.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Oh, the other thing we wanted to mention was the Taxi for You.
Oh, okay. So Taxi for You, you can find it on Facebook. We're not advertising for the company. We've just found it very helpful. So taxi, and then the number 4, and then the letter U.
I think there's similar companies around,
Probably
but that's
some.
the one we used.
And with 2 of us traveling, we found that sometimes a Taxi for You was not much more expensive than taking an uncomfortable bus. And you get a comfortable car. We even took one 6 hours from Koh Kut down south to Siem Reap. And it is really handy. So Taxi for You.
And they pick you up from your hotel and drop you at your hotel where you're going.
Yeah,
which is great.
And
so you save on that extra taxi ride from wherever the bus drops you in town to get to your hotel.
yeah, and it really is not much more expensive, especially if there are two of you traveling, because if you're going on public transport, you've got to pay for two. Taxi for you, there's one price.
Also ferries, you can book all your ferries when you're island hopping. You can book on Bookaway and that. Just remember, there's different types of ferries. There's the speedboat,
Yes.
which is very fast and sometimes not the most comfortable.
And if you get seasick, probably not the way to go.
And then there's the slower ferries. So just make sure when you book, you check that.
Another interesting thing just on ferries is that sometimes we found it's way cheaper if you book the ferry at the island rather than booking before.
Yes.
We did a lot of bookings before, and then we started booking at the island when we arrived or were about to leave, and it was a lot cheaper.
Yeah, but you just got to make sure if you're in peak season.
Availability.
Just availability.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. We were generally in lower season, so it wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5
Number 5,
is how convenient Thailand is.
very convenient.
Thailand, there's a 7-Eleven literally every couple of 100 meters.
We've
Couple
traveled
meters.
nearly the whole of Southeast Asia now, and Thailand is by far the most convenient of all the countries.
Everywhere. Yeah, and the best thing is if you're really hungry and you can't really find anywhere to eat, you can get a toasty,
Yeah,
which is
you
the
can get a
famous
toasty.
thing in Thailand.
Yeah, so you can get a toasty.
And they heat it up for you there. It's fantastic as a go-to.
7-Elevens, again, no advertising for 7-Eleven, but are everywhere. The only 2 islands that we went on that we couldn't, 3 islands. Koh Kud, no 7-Eleven, Koh Mook, and Koh Yum, Koh Phu. But they're the convenience stores anyway. So, but everywhere else we've ever been, Toasties, 7-Elevens,
Coffee, they got coffee and all sorts of
everything.
things. Also, the other thing is if you don't even want to leave your hotel, you can just order Grab food. The delivery service for food is incredible, and there are so many options.
Yeah, grab food. We haven't done it often.
We've done it once or twice.
Once or twice, and it's quite easy.
Works well.
Yeah.
Works well. All right, number 6, motorcycle rental.
I love my scooter. I tell you, the one thing I'm going to miss leaving Southeast Asia sometime in the future is my scooter, my little motorbike.
We never had one at home. Yeah, so just remember though, you do need an international driver's license.
Yeah.
Because if anything happens, your insurance is not going to cover you if you don't have a license.
Yes.
Normally you pay about 200 to 300 baht a day to rent a motorcycle. They don't normally, well, we haven't found them taking our passports
But
much.
with that 200 to 300 baht, just remember this: you can always bargain.
Yeah, you can.
You're in Asia. It's bargaining time.
Yeah, you can. The passport thing, you hate giving your passport out.
I don't like
He
giving my
absolutely
passport.
hates it.
I think we've only done it twice.
Where there was no other option.
No other option, and so
The,
then
the other option is a deposit.
the other option is a deposit. But the most convenient way that we found is to rent your motorbike through the accommodation where you're staying, because then they don't really ask for a deposit, and they don't ask for your passport.
Yeah. Okay, number 7 is check when you're booking to come to Thailand the seasons, because different parts of the island have different seasons in a sense.
Yeah, so you've got the north, you've got the Andaman Sea, and you've got the Gulf. Those are kind of your three main areas.
Yeah. So and they have different weathers at different times of the year. So
Yeah.
make sure you know.
So you'll find sometimes when it's raining in the Andaman, it's not raining. So it'll be raining on Koh Samui. It'll be raining on Phuket, but it's not raining on Koh Samui. And then it's dry up north in Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai. So just check out the seasons.
That's quite important, because you don't want to go on holiday and you're in a rainy part that's raining the whole time.
Is that including the smoke? Is that your...
No,
Okay.
This is the next point, is
Okay.
the smoke. So number 8 is the pollution up north.
Yes.
The burning season, which is normally January, February, March, beginning of the year. You don't really want to be up Chiang Mai, that area, during that season, because it's apparently the pollution and the air quality is really bad.
Yeah, so just as we've said before, just plan, just check. It's so easy nowadays on Google and that. And also the interesting thing, just mixing all the points, in the Gulf there is only one tide per day. So there's one low tide per day and one high tide per day, and then 24-hour period. Whereas in a normal ocean or a sea, there's 2 low tides and 2 high tides. So you can also check on that, because it can affect your enjoyment of the beach. Because you can go to a beach and there's no beach because it's so full of water. especially in the Gulf. So if you're going to go to your Koh Changs, Koh Koods, really check on the tides as well. Sorry to throw that in there. Should have come in
But
point
the
6.
interesting thing is, often we would read reviews and people would say, "Oh, the beach is terrible. You have to walk for miles to swim." But that's only because it's at a certain time.
Yeah, and
it's
the
not
other
like that all the
and then
time.
other people on the same beach said there is no beach. There's just sea. You've got to climb literally off the road into the sea. It's just because of the the tides.
It's very,
So Gulf
we
Gulf
learned
tides
that.
are very interesting. I never knew that, and I grew up next to the sea. So learned something new.
Point number 9 is going and visiting temples. When you visit the temples, you need to be very respectful. So, for example, most times you've got to take off your shoes before you enter a temple.
Yeah.
For the woman, you've often got to take a shawl or something to cover yourself. But often if you forget, there's someone selling or lending you one to use to cover your shoulders.
Yeah.
Also for women, the knees. Sometimes you have to cover your knees as well. So,
And even guys sometimes with vests and that, you know, just be respectful. Most temples we went into, no hassles. Another thing just on temples is be respectful in taking videos and photos. It is their place of worship, you know. It's a tourist site, but it is also their place of worship.
just to say, I always, in our little backpack, always put a cover up to
Yeah,
carry
you do.
in the backpack. So
You in fact carry 2.
I carry a skirt, a wraparound skirt, and a shawl thing.
Yeah,
just
and they're
in
light,
case.
eh?
Yeah, very light.
Very light.
Right, number 10 is transport from Bangkok Airport. So you arrive in Bangkok Airport, and now you have to suddenly find a way to get to the center of Bangkok. Now remember that Bangkok Airport is miles away from the center of Bangkok.
Yeah,
it's far.
It's far, and there is traffic. You've never seen
I
traffic
think
like
it's
this.
traffic all the time.
Unless you're from Los Angeles or someplace like that, we've never seen traffic like this.
So when we arrived in Bangkok, we arrived quite late.
Quite late in the evening, yeah.
And we had to get a taxi into town, and so we didn't think there was any other option. 1,000 baht we paid. I nearly flipped my lid.
Yeah, 1,000 baht literally was nearly half of what we had paid on the airline because we were flying in from Luang Prabang.
It was crazy.
It was crazy. It's like we saved all this money on the flight, but we lost it all on the taxi.
But then afterwards we found out on the bottom floor of the airport there is a train station.
Yes.
So you can actually get the train for probably a tenth of the price.
A tenth of the price.
To take you into town.
If you will, and you need to know that it's really easy.
It's very easy.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Very, very easy. Yeah. So I would suggest, if you can and you're happy to do that, is to go down to the bottom floor and get the train into town.
Yeah,
But,
either that or organize your taxi before you get to the airport.
Yeah.
Because we made the mistake of catching a local taxi and they try to get us to pay the tolls and they do all the normal. You've got to be strong and just say no.
Yeah.
But so either organize your taxi before, like a taxi for you or something like that, or catch the train.
Okay, number 11 is a SIM card. Now, we use True. There are a few other options.
But True
we
comes
worked it
through
well.
7-Eleven.
Yes,
so
that was the
it's
convenience
everywhere.
of it.
Yeah.
So you explain because you did
So
the SIM
we
card.
did the 30-day SIM card, the tourist SIM card, and we heard so many different things that it expires after 30 days, it expires after 2 months, and all of
And
this.
we paid 999 baht for
Initially,
the initial SIM card.
so we had budgeted that we'd pay 999 baht a month, but it's not like that at all. So we got the initial 30-day SIM card and we just topped up, and the top up only cost us 350 baht every month, and we used the same SIM card for 6 months. So yeah, don't be caught up, but use True. You're going to have to. It is quite tricky trying to get the top up sometimes if no one speaks English, so just use your Google Translate, really handy.
Yeah, but it
Don't
saved
be
us
like
a lot of money.
Don't be like me trying to talk to them with hands and get
But I
frustrated.
keep saying to them, they don't understand. Just get your Google Translate.
Yeah, Cindy always says that, but I get frustrated by having to use technology all the time. I want to be real.
So yeah, that's worked really well for us and saved us quite a bit of money. And it's unlimited data.
Unlimited data.
And you get some calls. Did you have unlimited calls?
Yeah, you can get one with calls. You can just top up for calls, and also the coverage in Thailand is amazing.
Amazing.
And the speed, the data speed is amazing.
Okay, number 12 is in Bangkok. There's the MRT, which is the underground, and the BTS, which is the sky train.
The Sky Train, yeah.
We use that all the time. It's much cheaper than catching grabs and taxis all over the place, and it's so efficient. I couldn't believe how efficient it was. It blew my mind.
Loved it. She wouldn't let me take
No one
anything
did that.
else. She just wanted to catch a train.
But the one thing is it can be really busy. There were times when we were carrying our luggage and we were like squashed inside.
So some of the busy times is early in the morning when everybody's going to work, and in the evening, and we were trying to catch an aeroplane, so trying to get to the airport at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and we kept, and the trains kept coming in and they were full and they're moving off. So plan your life well.
But it's way cheaper than catching grabs and things, so that's important. All right, number 13.
Sure, we're getting there.
How safe is Thailand compared to where we come from anyway?
Where we from, Thailand's like the safest place on the planet. So
you can walk anywhere. What like amazed us at home, we don't really walk around at night because it's not always safe.
Yeah.
Here, it's so nice after a dinner or a meal, you can go off and have a walk around the streets and you don't feel unsafe.
And in kind of what we would think are dodgy areas, but they're not dodgy. These people are friendly. People are amazing. Look, don't be stupid. Yeah. Don't hang out in.
Yeah, probably in big towns like Bangkok and that late at night.
Be more wise.
It'd probably be a bit more careful.
But we walked everywhere as an older couple. I am quite a big, but we've never had not one incident in 7 months. Not one incident in Southeast Asia.
No, I love Thailand. Okay, number 14 is what did we use to book all our accommodations? So
this is Cindy.
This is my thing.
This is her life.
I spend hours reading all the reviews, looking at comparing all the booking sites, comparing prices.
Yeah, I say, what are you doing? And I say, but we've booked that. She says, no, I might get it better.
Well, you can book it and you can cancel it with a cancellation, and then a few days later you might look again and it's cheaper, and then you cancel that one and book again. That's what I do. So we use Agoda, Booking.com and Airbnb. We found Booking.com and Agoda is good for more shorter term. 3 or 4 days at a time, and Airbnb longer term because you get a much better discount if you book a week or a month at a time.
The only thing with Airbnb is you can end up in a place that's not, if you're booking too long, to just go through your reviews, do your research, just check up, be careful.
There's also Google reviews you can read up on. So there's a lot of reviews you can read up. And for me, the reviews are the key thing. That's where I base a lot of my bookings on. There was one other thing I wanted to say about this. The other thing was with Booking.com, when you're booking 3 or 4 days, we found to book breakfast, because often we would book without breakfast, and then we wake up the next morning and we can't find where to go for breakfast because we've just arrived, so we don't know the area yet.
Try and make your life easier.
So if it's a few days, we try to include breakfast. It does help.
It does help a lot.
It helps a lot. And then the last one, I think, where are we on number? 15.
15. Wow. Thank you for sticking with us. We appreciate it. Well done.
Number 15 is it's really great, and the locals love it, if you can learn a little bit of the language. But it also helps us in trying to explain to them things like little chili. For me, so he does lots of chili.
Prik lik noi
was one of the first things we learned. Prik lik noi means little chili.
That's Cindy's favorite thing. Prik lik noi. Every restaurant we went into, prik lik noi.
So it really helps. And sawadika.
So what? Just the general. What was the no?
Mi pen rai.
So in Waihin on the beaches, there is a little bit. They keep walking past, not harassing. They're just trying to sell their product, and then you learn how to say my pen rai. Mi pen rai.
No, my pen rai.
My pen rai. My pen rai means no thank you. So my pen rai and just no thank you. And they laugh at me. And then they see you, they're walking past again and they're trying to say, and they see it's you and they pack out laughing. They think it's very funny.
It's hilarious. And they say, how do you know?
Yeah, how do you know? So learning a little bit of the language is respectful. It is helpful. It also creates connections, and just be able to say, hello, sawadee-ka. And it just creates connections when you kakunka. It just brings you more into the community. We're not going to understand everything in the short time, but
that's when Google translates your
friends. But it really helps to bind you into the whole experience. If I can say it like that, we found that it just a few words change everything. So usually, thank you, hello, thank you, no, thank you. Little chili.
And delicious. Your food is delicious.
Yeah. What's it?
A
roy mak. So they serve you food at a restaurant, and all you do is go a roy mak, and they just think that is fantastic, and they're your best friends.
So that's it. That's our 15 things we wish we knew before going to Thailand. Hope it's helpful to you guys.
And the thing about Thailand, we love Thailand. So if you're traveling to Thailand, Thailand is a fantastic place, great enjoyment, very safe place, and you can find empty spaces, you can find whatever you want in Thailand, and it's easy to travel.
Absolutely.